So bodybuilding is the most basic, straightforward, and the simplest form of training that we probably all started with. And it's only in this world of social media that it's become the most argued over and contested and divisive topic that I at least have seen. Like seriously, being on TikTok, Reels, Instagram, whatever it is, and engaging with the fitness industry is just about being bombarded by like clickbaity skits and titles about how this is the one thing that you need in order to unlock a world of gains. How this guy is wrong, how this guy is right. Lengthen partials, leverages, reps, sets, splits, whatever it is. And I'm here to tell you that there are other things that you can do besides going to the gym. You know, there are other sports.
The team, go sports!
Things do not start and end with your split, whichever one you end up using. So let's look at some of these things in more depth. For starters, you will never be able to escape from the maxims of training, that were first discovered, or more than discovered, really contextualized decades ago. Okay, your training needs to progressively get harder, and you need to be in good enough physical shape in order to recover from said training. That is it. In my opinion, a lot of the issues that we experience or see online that people use to make all this clickbaity content can simply be solved by having a basic understanding of training methodologies, training history, and just like understanding how your body truly reacts to stimulus from training. Like in my opinion, a lot of the metabolic issues that we're experiencing as a society now can simply be solved by understanding the basics of training and just having a better understanding of how your body actually works. Which, understanding the basics of physiology and training is really, really not that hard. And truly, if you were brought up with sports, with training, the right way from the get-go, you wouldn't have any of these issues, okay? Because you would understand how to properly move. You would understand what are some of your deficiencies and your issues. You would understand your proportions a little bit better. So why do we end up with all these camps and all these ideologies that just seem to like grab onto people? Well, for one, we all are playing the game of social media that is constantly about driving engagement and more views. And a lot of times the best way of doing this is just by having like hard set ideas. Just these extreme points of view that are just gonna like grab onto people. And once you tie yourself to these like stances, it's pretty hard to let go of them. You're sort of just like stuck in this one box. And the second reason might just be because all of these things are somewhat right. All of these things will probably work for some people or most people at one point or another in their life. And that might be the hardest part. Aside from the obviously bizarre and like purposely misguiding bits or characters that we see on social media, most people are probably somewhat right about what they're saying. So obsessing about finding the absolute answers to any of these topics is a waste of time. I promise you, it will all go back to progressive overload and just being in good enough physical shape to recover from training. Something that I usually oftentimes refer to as work capacity. Progressive overload, work capacity, period. Just focus on the basics and be open to alternatives. Start with something, whatever it is. Try it for 6 to 8 weeks and then move on. That is like the basic premise of training. There is such a thing as training going stale. Like at one point or another, your ability to continue to progressively overload this one variation is just gonna plateau. And at that point, it becomes more productive to simply switch it up and provide the body with a novel stimulus in order to continue driving adaptations. And I challenge you to go into any of the posts that you see with people claiming to have an answer to training. People in favor of leverages, of like lengthen partials, of this split, of this other split, of this rep range, of that rep range. Go through the comments. You'll see the typical like, this is stupid, this is not gonna work, or whatever it is. And then you see people saying like, oh, my training's been stale for so long, and after I tried this and that, it's been working great. Or like some variation of like, ever since I started using this guy's program, everything's been going good. Some of it might be bots, but some of them might be genuine people who have genuine opinions about these things. But now go into the opposite ones. Find the other ones that disagree with those points of view, and you will go through the exact same type of comments. Like I said, you just need to start and be open to alternatives. If you really like this stuff, you're gonna be doing it for the rest of your life. Okay, so why are you like freaking out about fractional gains? Like, because that's what those things are. They're just fractional. The biggest gripe that people seem to have with like all this science-based training methodologies is the fact that they just add what seems like unnecessary complexity to training in general. And this is somewhat true. Like if you're truly aware of everything that we know about strength and conditioning nowadays, about hypertrophy training nowadays, about fitness nowadays, it gets to be a lot. But you need to understand that very oftenly, the worst advice that you can possibly hear will come from people who are just genetically gifted, you know, and can just get away with really bad training. This is the reason why oftentimes amazing athletes will make really, really bad coaches. You know, I played sports at a decent level in college. My coaches didn't know fucking shit about training. Strength and conditioning, nothing. I've worked with coaches in this area, nothing. Not a clue about proper training structure. Everything is just go hard, be tough, and win games. Like, it's very hard to actually find people who are actually interested in like developing athletes, in developing people, and like teaching people and giving them the tools to train properly. And most people don't want that either. They don't want to be thinking about the training. They just want to go in, shut their brain off, and do work. Don't be like that. If you're into this type of conversations, if you like diving into these topics, you're probably someone like me that just has struggled in the past with getting fit, with getting stronger, who wasn't genetically gifted and had to like work their way up. You know, and these are the tools and the things that you need to understand in order to just have a better quality of life after you stop competing, you know, or just get in better shape and enjoy your life a little more. And this is part of the reason why I'm so adamant about just getting people out of the gym. Like, the gym is great, especially if you have like body recomposition goals and things of that sort. You're not eating very much, you're tired, you have a busy schedule. Bodybuilding is a very, very, very low effort type of training. You know, I don't care how tired I am. I don't care. I could be having the worst day of my life. I can still go in and crush an upper body session. And at the end of the day, it all goes back to just normal training. Just going back to the basics and understanding what it is that you're doing. Going hard whenever you have to, whenever you can. Understanding recovery, understanding how to actually go hard efficiently so that you're not just getting tired, you're actually training hard. Because that is one of the things that most people miss, is the fact that just because you're getting out of breath doesn't mean that you're actually doing anything worth doing. And at the end of the day, enjoying sports, enjoying training, okay? Enjoying the experiences that your body can give you and not becoming a sellout about it, okay? There are memes now about getting into any like training community, like getting into powerlifting, getting into Olympic weightlifting, getting into CrossFit. Like it turns into like a religion more than a sport, and it's just annoying, okay? So don't be like that. All right, and that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, got something useful out of it. If you're interested in learning more about training, I put together a 10 email series with the most important lessons that I've learned over the past 20 years regarding like training principles and how to train more efficiently. So you can sign up below. It only takes a few clicks. You can unsubscribe whenever you want to. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate every single person that watches these videos. Alrighty, bye.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.